Hey guys, it's Katrina. I am here with K14's Cash Coaching and my good friend Kathy Hernandez. Kathy Hernandez Insurance Agency. We'll be talking all of your questions regarding insurance and what kind of coverage you need for your life.
Hey guys, I just want to introduce myself, Kathy Hernandez Santiago. Been friends for many, many years. I do own a local agency in Avondale. So I'm definitely familiar with Arizona liability, what you guys need, the laws and things like that. So please throw any questions in there that you have.
Perfect. So my other question, we did have a question earlier, and the question was how much money do we need coverage for life insurance? That was one of the questions. And
yes. So whenever someone comes to me and they have that question, it's a very broad question. Everyone's need is very different, what they own, how many children, and what you're really looking to cover. There's something as little as burial expense or for me, 5 children's college funds. So it's very different. I would say to someone, let's do 5 years salary plus your debt total.
Which that could definitely add up. I mean, just a house alone is $250,000. So if you start that and go up with cars, student loan debt, credit cards, it can add up into hundreds and hundreds of thousands. But if you didn't have that coverage, what would your life be like for those that were left behind?
Yeah, and since we're on the subject of life insurance, I do want to spend a few minutes just talking about the number one response I get as an agent looking to protect a family is, I have it through work, and that is a wonderful benefit for an employer to offer. However, they own that policy. So say you choose to switch jobs willingly or you're let go, that is a benefit that company keeps, leaving you and your family without. A standard company like Allstate, Farmers, we will never beat that rate. And people like to compare my rate to what their work is giving them. Yeah. That's a group rate, So my suggestion, that work-life policy, is that it's going to be a good benefit to have, but it's very important to get something that you own, that you have complete control over.
I like that, especially if you move. A lot of people, they don't, like when I left one school district, this is going a little bit off, but when I left, I didn't take my 401k with me. So if I were to leave that job, would I still have that coverage through that company or no?
Your life insurance?
Yes, for life insurance.
No. They do not let you. Normally, they don't let you take it with you. So it's important that you get something that you have control over.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And if someone were to leave that job, do you recommend them obviously getting their own policy and closing that one out, or just transferring it? Like, how does that work?
If they can take it with them. Mm-hmm. So if anyone's ever been let go from a job, you get that paper in the mail, and it's you can purchase your health care for 6 more months. Have you guys seen that? It's like the Cobra.
Yeah.
Your life insurance will be on there. So that's when they say you can take it. You have to purchase it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through someone else or another company, obviously, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
okay.
Correct.
And she's looking for new auto insurance. Wanted to see if you have a better deal with your company that goes
All right.
into
So
cars.
I'll tell you a little bit about Allstate and standard versus non-standard carriers. Allstate, Farmers, Progressive, Geico, we are standard companies, which is where I recommend anyone to be with. So Allstate is a credit-based company. If you have good credit, you're most likely going to get the best rate out of any carrier in the state. We are the first company to do that. There's a huge formula when it comes to ratings, female, male, age, demographics, where you live. But for Allstate, they look at your credit at the very top. So I'll be more than happy to drop my information after the video. If anyone wants to contact me, I'll run some numbers. But if you have good credit, Allstate is definitely a company that's going to save you money in the long run.
Do you know off the top of your head what number is a good number that they should shoot for to be able to qualify for some, good policies? It depends.
So as far as the credit goes, so we have an agreement with the Department of Insurance that we're not allowed to view your actual credit score. So we solicit it, and they return it to us in what we call an insurance score. Mm-hmm. Now, even the company you have now, you can call and say, do you guys use an insurance score at all? they should be able to tell you yes or no if they're a licensed agent. So like for Allstate, 1 is the best, 16 is the worst. I don't see your actual credit score, but if you have a 16, I know your credit's probably not that great. If it's a 1, I mean, you're probably got a 750, 800 credit score, and your rates are going to be great.
Good. Just asking for personal,
Yeah.
you know, asking for a friend. Okay. You said you've been working since right out of high school, so that puts you like only 3 years, right? Because you're only 21 right now.
Shoot, girl.
Just kidding. She has lots of experience. So I hyperlinked her business page. You guys can go ahead and like it and follow it. She's gonna start doing lives too.
I have a question. Let's see.
I'll let you read while I keep talking.
All right, so I have a question. Let's see. I had a plumbing fiasco and had to put in a claim. My homeowners went up $800 to $2,000. I've been calling around and found one that's under $500 a year. Okay. So I will jump into this when it comes to claims. The normal surcharge, it's a nice way to say penalty. Normal surcharge is 30 to 35% of your premium. Woo. And that is surchargeable for up to 3 years. So if you have to put a claim in, really think about it if you're just going to fix it out of pocket. Obviously, if it's something catastrophic, you're going to call your insurance company because that's what we're there for. But I'm sorry, you got rid of it. There was a second part to that.
That was, but I have to take a $5,000 deductible for the next 2 years. Is this a good idea?
Yeah, be very careful with the home policies because if something's that cheap, you want to make sure you're not getting an actual cash value policy, which means they're going to depreciate your loss on the home. So that $3,000 roof, they might cut you a check for $1,000 because they're depreciating it. They're not replacing it. So that's a good question to ask also with the home insurance. What is replacement? What is actual cash value in that policy?
I like that. And to piggyback off of the life insurance question, per Dave Ramsey and per the debt payoff and, you know, no credit, all that, he wants everything paid off and just everything's cash, cash, cash. So obviously that's not happening if you're in debt and you don't have $400,000 in cash. But his formula is if you make $40,000 a year, then multiply that by 10, and that's how much you should have in a life insurance policy per Dave Ramsey.
So that's
just
great.
Give me a headache. I mean, it's more than.
It's better to have
probably
more
will need,
than
yeah,
not to have enough.
Exactly. And if you have kids, you definitely recommend that, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
They got to go to college, guys. They got to get cars. You're not here. They probably need counseling. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of expenses.
Therapist, something. You know, they just lost a parent, or it's a lot going on. What type of insurance do you cover?
So, when you're looking for a company, definitely look for one that does everything. There's insurance company and protection company. Allstate, Farmers, American Family, we're protection companies. When we say that, we mean that we're putting everything under one roof. We're not brokering out something unless we have to. So we do auto insurance, renters, of course, homeowners, life, and business commercial insurance.
Nice. Did everybody grab their policies and see how much coverage you have? And
yeah, so I kind of want to break down the auto policy sections a little bit because I get this question a lot, doing quotes daily. There are 3 sections to your policy. There's the section that covers others, the section that covers you and your family, and then the section that covers your vehicle. So your bodily injury liability is going to be what it's paid out to someone you may injure. If you have 15,000, 30, 10, that is Arizona's minimum. We're the lowest in the country for that.
Wow.
Okay. It is my job, as it is your agent's job, to keep the lawyers off your back in the event of a suit. Okay, so let's face it, this is America. We're a lawsuit-happy country, and
Agreed.
I get it. Cost is a factor in many households. But if you have 15, 30, 10, I really suggest just making a phone call and see what the cost difference is monthly to bump it up to the next level So that's the portion. That's the first portion. The second portion is what protects you and your family or your friends when you're driving with them.
Oh.
Is the uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage.
Okay.
Okay. If you're going without that, as an agent, I would say you're protecting others, but not protecting yourself or your husband or your children. So that coverage is to protect you guys in the event that someone hits you who is uninsured, or someone hits you who is underinsured, meaning they don't have enough to cover my family of 7.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it, 7.
She cooks a lot of food,
yeah,
guys.
And medical payments are important. And this is the coverage that everyone kicks off quickly. And I'll tell you why medical is important. Statute of limitation for a claim, a suit, is 2 years. You may not see a penny from that claim for 2 years because companies do battle back and forth.
Yeah.
If you have medical payments, it is immediate. It is a non-fault coverage. You know, I can smash my own hand in the door. If I have medical, I'm paying my cast to get put on, you know, things like that. So medical is also a very good coverage to have. And then the last one is your comprehensive and collision coverage. Now, that is your deductible. So that's your agreement with the company of what you're going to pay to pick your car up out of the body shop, right? So if I have $1,000, I got to show up with $1,000 to get my car out, which is very different than a homeowner's claim. I don't know. I haven't know if I have time to touch into that.
We do a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so collision, you know, rental reimbursement, windshield coverage, towing, those are the extras that are for your vehicle to take care of you in that aspect.
And towing is so cheap. Like, people don't understand at all how cheap it is.
At Allstate, it's $1.25 per month.
Listen, Linda, if I'm stuck with my kids in this hot car and I can get someone to come out for free because I don't have to pay them when they get here, I don't have to write a check, nothing, or well, we don't do checks, but, and I'm like, wait, how much is it a month?
It's so cheap.
And I literally had someone on Facebook saying, does anybody know anyone who has a tow truck? And I was like, boo, get it on your insurance. Like, come on, just don't get Dunkin' for 2 days. You're good.
Yeah, it is really inexpensive. We got a question here. Why do we need uninsured and underinsured motorists? All right. So the good, that's okay. I'm happy to answer the questions as long as I know the answers. And, you know, this one I definitely do. So because Arizona does not allow people from other countries to get licensed here and to have insurance here, 1 in every 3rd driver on the road is uninsured. That's one reason, okay? The second reason is Arizona is flooded with these non-standard companies who don't who don't explain their rules to people. Non-standard is all insurance. If you guys remember the general, these are non-standards. And the way they work is they're going to say, these are our strict rules. In return, we'll give you a dirt cheap rate. But they're not explaining those rules. So, for example, your payment's due on the 1st, you pay on the 3rd. You think you have flex days, but immediate coverage is canceled for 2 days. And so that's leaving the gap open of hitting people, being uninsured when you think you were. So Arizona is one of the highest in the country right now for auto rates. Because of those 2 reasons.
My rates did go up. And I'm like, wait, I'm married, I'm grown, aka I'm older than 25.
Yeah.
And I was like, man. But when I saw my coverage, I'm like, oh, everybody's went up.
Everybody's is going up.
Well, yeah. At least mine did.
Yep, same with glass coverage. Nikki said, yeah. We have a lot of companies coming to Arizona, taking advantage of our 0 deductible, and kind of gouging those receipts and putting it back on us, which unfortunately puts it back on you guys, the consumer. So that may be actually something that's going away soon, is that 0 deductible.
I think so, yeah. It will have to. I actually got hit a couple of years ago, and the female that hit me, I promise you she was under the influence of something. After the fact, I realized it. Had I realized it, I would have told the officer, like, you need to breathalyze her or something. Something's not right. She was on some kind of intoxication. I don't know. But she sideswiped my vehicle, and when I called her insurance, they're like, oh, well, you know, we only insure people who have really bad credit like really bad scores, or have been in multiple accidents already. So it was almost like a janky.
It's a non-standard. Yeah.
Non-standard. Okay.
Non-standard. Yeah.
Non-standard.
And non-standard, you have to be very careful because aside from the billing, there's a lot of restrictions built in. Your standard companies have something called permissive use. Anyone with permission to drive is automatically covered. Non-standards may not. They usually don't have that. So if I let my friend here borrow my car and she wrecks it and I have a non-standard, they have a right to deny that claim.
Wow.
Leaving me open to.
I didn't think about that.
To a lawsuit.
So a standard company would be covered if I needed somebody to, if it's like, okay, can you take the kids to school real quick?
Right.
Then under that policy, I should be covered.
Yep. Yeah.
Probably.
Permissive use is on standard companies.
Okay. And do you know anything about this?
Rental reimbursement. Yes. So rental reimbursement on your policy it only pays out in the event that your vehicle is covered under a claim. So while it's at the body shop, a lot of people think it may get them a rental to go to California or to go on vacation, but that's not what the coverage is for. But yes, that is very important.
Yeah, that happened also. Listen, I always get hit. I don't hit anyone. Everybody hits me. I don't know. And now I have a huge white vehicle, so you cannot not see me in the dark, in the light, nothing. Like, here I am, move. But an elderly man reversed into my bumper. Okay, super easy. Nobody was hurt. Everything was fine. It just had like paint damage. And his insurance, luckily, because it was in Sun City West, where elderly people probably take care of their insurance, he was covered. So I was like, oh. And I got me a nice 2019 Dodge Challenger that I will be buying myself when I turn 40, cash money. So there you go.
Yeah.
But
how do you know if your insurance is standard or non-standard? Take a look at your fees. If you don't want to call the agent and ask, look at your deck page and your billing. Standard companies usually don't charge you a hefty monthly fee because we're not brokering anything out. There's no broker fee. Allstate doesn't charge you any fee at all, not even when you start up with us. We just take the premium and that's it. So if you see a $7, $12 fee on there, they may be a non-standard. Yeah.
Check those fees,
guys.
Check those fees, fee.
You can save a lot of money by really doing your homework, learning about insurance, underwriting, which is where the consumer falls behind. Because how do you guys? I'm licensed to do this. I know underwriting, but consumers don't. So it's important just to even get online and just look around a little bit.
She's got a point. There's a reason why she does what she does and we do what we do. So she is the expert in this department. She knows what to look for. I mean, I literally, if I show her, she can break it down, explain to me, and educate also, just so that way I'm like, oh, is she trying to get an extra $20 out of me a month? What are we doing? Why am I paying this? Exactly. Underinsured and uninsured. If I get in a car accident and somebody hits me and they don't have insurance, well, I still got to fix my car because we got to go to school, we got to get to work,
medical bills,
things like that. Yeah.
Work. Yeah.
And so I'm covered, per those two policies that I added on top of my regular policy.
Yeah. So it is tough. I do get a lot of angry calls about people. Why do I have to buy this? It's not my fault. So I will tell you guys a little bit about where Allstate's going. In the future, near future here is insurance is very demographic, right? We have to pay for what our neighbor's done and per zip code. So Allstate's trying to individualize policies. Nice. And as of September this year, we're going to prepaid insurance. So you put an app on your phone, you're going to pay, say, $100 for this many miles, and you use half of that. You can expect a refund from us or a credit to roll over. So prepaid insurance, I think it's going to be great. For Arizona, we definitely need something. We can't just keep getting gouged. And myself too, I'm a consumer. I have a teenage driver. But keep an eye out for that. Yeah.
Oh goodness, there's a big long one for you to.
Is there anything in Arizona that allows them to legally change their policy without your knowledge? No, there's not. You have to be. You're the owner. You own that policy. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me back up a little bit. An insurance underwriter has a right to change your policy given they have supplied you notice of that change that is going to happen.
Legally.
Usually it's a 30-day notice, so it's important if you got something to respond to it. For example, I know a friend who lives in their state and they took their force for insurance off the government. No, they cannot. Everything has to be done in notice, which for insurance, legally, we have to mail you paper, postal. Only a consumer can elect paperless. So it's pretty important we get you those documents.
Okay, any more questions? Before we sign out, make sure to like her Facebook page and go ahead and check her out. You can find her phone number and everything on there, right?
Yes, everything's on the website.
Okay.
You know, you guys, my cell phone's on there. Text me anytime. You can call me any questions. I'm passionate about teaching the consumer about these things. I'm not going to hassle you for your business or for quotes. It's truly something that's near and dear to my heart to teach you guys so that you can protect yourself and your family.
And you can always bring her lunch at Colados, which is right there on 107th and Indian School.
Torta Pequim is right there. And don't make fun of my whiteness, you guys.
She did say it. Anyways, okay, thank you guys, and we will see you when we see you.
Thank you, guys.